Hey everyone, so we just got some news last night. I saw the news and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to bed and then I'll cover it in the morning. So here I am. We got a new step up multi, or step up, I don't know why I said multi, step up banner announced for later today. So that's gonna be later today and roughly around, so right now it's 10:46 for me, um, 8 hours or so, I wanna say. 8 to 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours, somewhere in between there. As of recording for me, um, we have this banner. So we have the Christmas units returning, which is all right. We're gonna go over them in a second. Then we have an interesting part of the banner. The banner actually has more than one rotation, so you're able to go continuously on it, and it's an interesting banner. So if we look at the picture, um, step 1 and 2 are literally just normal multis, and then step 3 is a guaranteed one of the three. um I don't know how I feel about this. These units used to be really good and they still kind of really do hold up. Christmas Amelia is still really solid on certain like niche teams, especially Labyrinth. I see a lot of people use her in boss fights and stuff like that just because her abilities. Again, we'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video, but they just they don't really like hold up as well because of the power creep that's been happening. It feels like every single new unit, it has a new ability, has a new counter, has a way to just squeeze their way into the meta, and these units I feel like are becoming way less important. And 3,000 for one of the characters is pretty steep. um I'd say you should probably skip until they add them into like the general pool or into like some featured banner where like they're on the sidelines with a maybe like a festival unit. I wouldn't recommend solely summoning for them. They do look cute, but it's just not worth it in my opinion. Talking about the banner, we have again a banner that can go more than one rotation, so that's pretty interesting. This is the first time I believe that I've ever seen a step up banner have more than one rotation in the game, so that's pretty interesting. We'll have steps 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then so on, basically an endless loop. It doesn't really even feel like a step up banner. You can do the rotations, the multis do lead up to a reward later on down the line. It's just the first two steps. One of the whales, Japanese whales, pointed out like it doesn't even feel like a steps. Let me see if I can find it. He's like one of the first ones, I believe. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of scrolling. I think it's this one. Certainly, what is a step? Like it's kind of weird that like these two, like maybe like the first one was half off and then the second one was normal price. Like that would have made a little more sense. But again, it's just kind of weird that it's just both 2,000 in total, other than you get the guaranteed. So it's 3,000 you're spending for a guaranteed kind of like out of touch character. Again, I wouldn't recommend summoning here. It's definitely bait for Fred, Garf, and Felt. If any of those characters mean something to you, they are coming out this month, so just be aware. Either this month or early January at the very least. So again, just wait for them. They're probably gonna be insane as well. Then we have Dress Rem that just got announced. Another purple unit. Someone said, hey, don't you want more purples? I do want more purples, but not 4 of them in the span of 1 month. Sega has this tendency to really hone in on a color and just gun it for that color. They don't really know how to separate or how to diversify properly, and it's kind of really annoying. If it was, if Betty and Puck were a different color, preferably maybe even green, or well, maybe not green because we just had the Halloween, but blue would have been an exceptional color. Blue needs a little bit of love too, because the only blue units are anniversary units, and those aren't going to see any comeback potential in a while, unless they do something big. So having an entire team almost of anniversary units is kind of scary. So I would love to see more blue units come to the game as well. it's just, you know, Sega does really know how to balance things properly, and I feel like they do it on purpose. So it is what it is. Uh, we'll talk about the units now. We have Ram here, Christmas Ram. Her single does 400% power, has a 100% chance to inflict agility down, magically attacks single enemy, 600% power, 100% chance to stun and remove all buffs. Um, magically attacks all enemies, 400% power, 100% chance to inflict defense down for 3 turns, and reduce action gauge by 30%. She's a great staller. She's a great debuffer as well. She can remove all buffs. She has defense down. She reduces action gauge. She's pretty nice, but you know, a lot of units can really take her spot. It's kind of whatever. Her bonus skill is attack 10, 20, debuff success rate 30%. That's actually really nice. Increased debuff resistance by 40%. That's a general leader, so that's pretty nice as well. Like, they're not bad by any means. If anything, these are some of the units that held up the best, seeing how it's already been a year from now that they've been out. But yeah, it's just nothing to really summon solely for. And I assume their memories are going to be on the banner as well. I'm just not going to go through them. Then we have physically attacks a single enemy with 400% power, 100% chance to inflict attack down for 2 turns. At the beginning of the turn, restores 10% of allies' maximum HP. There's a 50% chance you will remove 1 debuff from them. Physically attacks all enemies, 800% power, restores 20% of allies' maximum HP. Now removes 1 debuff and gives all allies agility up. She's a great attacker. It seems like she's a great support as well. But again, like, these units, I don't know if they're worth summoning on by themselves. Magically attacks a single enemy at 400% power, 100% chance to remove 1 buff. That's pretty interesting. When an enemy uses an action gauge increase skill, increases their own action gauge by 80%, removes a debuff himself, does not stack. And magically attacks all enemies with 500% power, has a 100% chance of inflicting fatigue and agility down for 2 turns. So, and this is a fatigue. This is, what is this? I always forget. Happens to me all the time. I don't know where to go. It's right here, right? Buff seal. Ugh, I always forget. It's been a while since I've actually sat down and played the game. Buff seal. So that's pretty nice. Go back to Amelia real quick. So buff seal, as well as agility down. This is really where she shines, with increasing her own action gauge, so you can buff seal and, you know, agility down. Just keep that momentum on your side of the field. Increase all blue allies debuff success rate by 50%. HP, agility, attack. Yeah, so these units are cool, but they're not really worth summoning again on their own. I would recommend skipping here. This is definitely bait. And yeah, so that's gonna do it for the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.